Alright, in this video I'm going to show you how to use the transform tool to adjust the size of your image. This can be used for images that you've cropped already or for images that kind of need a type of cropping, in other words. Right now in this document I have my background, which is my white canvas, and then I have a layer which is my image of the portrait here. Now you can see that there's this eye icon. If you click that, it will make that layer invisible. So this kind of helps you if you get lost in what layers you have. When you have multiple layers, you can do this, or it allows you to kind of see what it would look like without that particular layer and detail, which might be helpful to your design. So I'm working with two layers. I want to make sure that the layer that I want to transform, basically shrink or enlarge, is highlighted. If my background's highlighted, it's not going to do anything. So I'm going to select the layer that I want to adjust. Now I can get to it in two different ways. You can go to Edit, Free Transform, and that will basically kind of highlight and select the image visibly on your workspace. Now, in order to keep your image in proportion to itself, you want to enlarge it, but you don't want to stretch it wider than it already is necessarily, and I'll show you. This is what you don't want to do. You don't want to pull from the top or the sides as it starts to distort your image. Now, it might work if you purposely need to do that to fit a space, but typically you're creating your visual elements to exact proportions as you want them. So that's what you don't want to do with the free transform tool, especially for photography. You don't want to do this. We'll say no, that's not good. Okay. When you free transform, here's a different way you can get to this tool. Instead of going through Edit, with your cursor, you can press on your keyboard Control-T, and that will highlight the image again. You want to go to a corner, and you're not just going to drag from the corner. You have to push the Shift key down and drag at the same time. This keeps everything in proportion, nice and neat, so that we're not distorting your image at all. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull this and transform it to fit my 11 by 17 poster size. And I can look closely to see if there's any white edges or anything like that. And this can actually be done instead of cropping the image first, then placing it here. You can do this all in one. Basically, your layer 1 is slightly bigger than the background, and the only thing that's going to show up is what's on your background space. Here you can see that there's a little bit of like white edge. This is something so small we can easily fix it with the stamp tool or clone tool, which I will teach you in another video. And that's how you can transform your images in proportion or not in proportion for your design.